there, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see just what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for May 2022. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can simply follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what is going on when it comes to your month of May? Well, we've got the Sun in Taurus for the first 20 days of the month. This is your sixth house of work, reputation, your schedule, the teams that you're on, as well as the services that you offer to the world. And the Sun is bringing a lot of attention, enhancement, and support to this area of your life. And you're going to notice that there is a dramatic shift, or maybe gradual shift, but a consistent one nonetheless, to what is happening with you and your earning power as it relates to the teams that you're operating on or the field that you are working in. This attention, enhancement, and support can come in the form of a lot of different contributions that are not only making life easier, but helping you to increase the yield of the work that you do, right? Raise your profits, get more value to yourself. You may be finding that you are actually treated with a lot more value by peers, as well as by even higher ups and clients and customers. And the Sun is also helping to boost your reputation so that you are given a lot of opportunities to claim maybe big breaks or projects or assignments or revenue that maybe you've been passed over for aiming at or passed over consideration for. That's not even the case anymore, because with the Sun here, you are getting to be first pick. This is also a time where you are making a brand new name for yourself. So a lot of people are treating you differently in a way that is much more supportive. And that attention, of course, is carrying beyond just the workspace. This could even be your reputation expanding a bit when it comes to your social life, because with the Sun in your sixth house, everyone is spreading your good name. You're getting a lot of cool referrals, you're getting a lot of good hookups. It's all around just a very sweet time for you. After the 20th, we've got the Sun moving on into Gemini for the duration of May and going on into June. This is your seventh house of partnerships and closest one-on-one engagements. So your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate, all of your closest one-on-one involvements, like I said. With the Sun in the seventh house, bringing that attention, enhancement, and support here, there is a transformation to the style and dynamics that have maybe run a lot of your closest one-on-one connections, with a lot of new opportunities to pull everyone a lot closer together, because the Sun focuses on uncomplicating things and bringing in more of that pure, organic, wholesome simplicity. There's going to be a massive clearing of a lot of shadows and a lot of maybe, let's just say, detractive behavior or a lot of distractions that may have, been experienced or visible in this part of your life. Anything that has been maybe holding down a partnership from coming together, or maybe something that has been maybe keeping you away from a certain goal that you have with a certain partner, or whether they're a romantic partner or a business partner or just a friend. This is also a time where we are getting a chance to set stronger bonds with people by going on more adventures, bringing in more of that play and more of that levity. Those of you who are single or available to new people are going to be finding that you're also attracting people into your life that are perfect matches for these kinds of experiences. We've got Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, and that obstacle-clearing driving force, moving through Pisces through the 24th of the month. This is your fourth house of home, family, the domicile, and the home economic situation, as well as your roots. Now, with Mars in the fourth house, there is this big focus on taking care of business that may be considered okay to keep, or things that maybe have outstayed their welcome as it relates to a lot of family relationships and living situation circumstances. It's a great time for some serious renovation work. If you are looking to maybe work on some family relationships that you have, knocking down walls that maybe could be there emotionally or socially. This is also a time where you are finding that, yeah, when it comes to home economics and your finances as it relates to just the entire household, you, your spouse, and anyone else there, your investments, things are really on the rise here because Mars is making things a lot more industrious and a lot more profitable. But we also find that Mars is helping to speed up the accomplishment of some kind of long-standing project or the finishing of some kind of long-standing narrative that has gone on in a home or family situation for a very long time. This is about bringing everybody closer together and setting everyone up for greater future success. However, sometimes Mars can bring conflict along with it, especially when it comes to family situations where we have to address challenges that some people, whether it's just because they don't want to or they're okay with something that's not right, will not participate, or are, we almost can't have certain conversations about important things. How sometimes important things are still treated as taboo and we've been walking on eggshells. Mars will be challenging a lot of those norms as well for everyone's own good. So there could be some fights, there could be some issues, but as I often say with Mars, for hearts to understand each other, sometimes hard collisions are necessary, and so be prepared for some constructive conflict when it comes to family and household stuff this month as well. After the 24th, we've got Mars moving on into Aries, which is your fifth house of romance, love, recreation, creativity, parenthood, and your relationships with your kids. And when we have Mars in the fifth house, there is this focus on knocking down walls and obstacles that are coming between us and having the ideal relationships with the people that are ruled in this area as well. So we are talking about, yes, doing some knocking down of walls between us and love. Even if you are single or available to new people, there's going to be a focus on you having the help from Mars to find the right relationship partner by getting rid of any kind of walls or obstacles or burdens that may prevent that from actually occurring, really getting yourself out there, bursting your bubble, getting you out into the wide world and pulling people closer to you as well. This is also a time where things become a lot more passionate in love and romance, especially when it comes to people being a lot braver about taking risks. And we also see Mars helping to knock down social, emotional, and communicative walls with our kids. And so there could also be, yes, some occasional constructive collisions going on here as well, but this is about making, again, the strongest relationships possible and creating permanent solutions to long-standing challenges that maybe we have been trying to live with that we don't need to live with. We have Venus here as well, between the 2nd and the 28th of the month, so pretty much the entire month of May. And Venus, the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection, is really taking a bit of the edge off that Mars experience, luckily, but also at the same time bringing in more attention and attraction to creative pursuits that you have if you are trying to get more people on board, or you are looking to maybe get in with a certain creative community or work community, or maybe draw in some social support for yourself. This is also a time where romantic partnerships are developing all kinds of cool new love languages and expressions of intimacy, because Venus here is giving a lot of you an opportunity to be more connected by trying on a lot of new things for size. This is also a time where a lot of you Sagittarian people may find that if you are single or available, you are the one being sought out and you are attracting a great deal of flirtatious attention. And when it comes to your relationships with children and your kids, Venus here is also bringing out new love languages and a completely new way to bond, a completely new way to engage consistently that is much more up to date, much more current with who you and your children are in the present versus who you may have been in the past. We have Mercury, the planet of communications, haste, and productivity, behaving oddly this month. We've got Mercury direct in your 7th house of partnerships through the 10th. then retrograde in that 7th house of partnerships between the 10th and the 22nd, and then retrograding all the way back into your 6th house of work and reputation and schedule from the 22nd of May through the 3rd of June, when Mercury finally turns direct. So with Mercury direct in your 7th house of partnerships, we are speeding up growth in all of our closest one-on-one involvements. Now, this can be very, very helpful, especially if there are any kind of joint projects you've got going on or business alliances that have been maybe going in circles or idling for too long, because now we're really getting the let out. This is also speeding up the growth or establishment of a new relationship status for those of you who are looking to maybe evolve a current relationship that you are in, or if you've been seeing somebody recently and we're pretty much almost already there, this is going to really help out with that. And this is also going to open up new lines of communication for everyone who is looking to maybe expand their social network in order to create stronger platonic, business and romantic partnerships all alike. From the 10th to the 22nd, there is a focus on retrieval. There is a focus on going back and doing some reversal work. And for a lot of you, this could be a time where you are retracing your steps when it comes to maybe something that a partnership has lost touch with that used to be pretty central to the core of our being. Now, sometimes this can happen, right? In business and in relationships and in marriage, we might get caught up in a certain phase or something comes up and, an old ideal kind of gets away from us. Or maybe an old love language is forgotten, or an old pattern or an old lifestyle that we sorely miss needs to be able to have a new lease on life. Well, for the positive side of this, Mercury retrograde is definitely going to be helping this occur. However, this could be a frustrating time as well, because we may also need to do some work of retracing our steps and undoing certain decisions that we've made that brought us off our course. For those of you who are currently single or available to new people, we are also seeing an opportunity for you to take a trip down memory lane. An old aspect of yourself may get a chance to have a new lease on life through a new partner that resonates with that old aspect of self. This could be a part of you that hasn't had a chance to come out in a while, and this could be through somebody that is reminiscent of an old flame or an old crush, or possibly somebody that is going to be bringing that out of you just by being who they are. We have from the 22nd of May through the 3rd of June, Mercury retrograde in Taurus, that's 6th house. And there's going to be an opportunity to also do some retrieval work when it comes to claiming old money and old financial opportunities, whether it's things that have been kept from you or things you would like to call back into your life. Because Mercury is retrograde in the work area, we may also find that if you would like to undo certain commitments that you made with the workforce or certain services you've been putting out there or schedules you've been on, this is the time where you will be encountering very little resistance, whether it's from your coworkers or your teams or your bosses or your clientele, right? If you want to make some amendments to your own business and things like that, really switch things up. Mercury retrograde is going to give you a chance to undo a lot of things that maybe you wish you could take back. However, on the maybe not so great side of things, Mercury retrograde in the 6th house can be a bit of a pain because communications with coworkers and clients and customers and things like that can be a bit of a hassle, especially in situations where people might have become complacent or are ignorant or are not communicating effectively or doing their due diligence. And where those things show up are going to be pretty obvious. There may be some things you have to be ready to correct and do some damage control with when it comes to what other people are messing around with on the job. With Jupiter, we've got a special aspect going on as well this month. Jupiter is making a big move into Aries on May 10th. This is your 5th house of love and romance, recreation, creativity, and of course your relationships with your kids, parenthood. And Jupiter will be in Aries from May 10th through the 28th of October. So a good long stretch of this space being occupied by the planet of wealth, expansion, novelty, and luck. And it's not the only time this is going to happen either. This is going to happen again in 2023. However, with Jupiter here between the 10th of May and the 28th of October, you're going to find that Jupiter is bringing everyone to the lap of luxury, comfort, and opulence in this part of your chart. There could be a big breakthrough going on with a creative pursuit, or maybe even some kind of financial involvement that you have with one of your kids or a romantic partner or somebody in a creative community or in your social life that is trickling on into your life as well and creating a completely new story for you to embark on. This is also a time where a lot of you who are maybe looking for more serious partnerships or serious developments in partnerships are going to be having great luck, because Jupiter in the 5th house is one of those classic aspects where, yeah, a lot of times we do often see people getting engaged or maybe even conceiving a child. And so if we're looking to maybe take things to the next level in that respect, you most certainly do have all of that backing behind you this year and next year as well. And this is also a time where you may find that a creative passion can be monetized, or you are now set up quite nicely to bring some kind of dream or aspiration that you would like to build for yourself into the physical world. We also have a very cool life cycle shift going on this month, and this is where a lot of old themes in your past are coming back to revisit you for the positive. We have a 12-year and 24-year cycle showing up here, and so a good way to look at this is pay attention to what was going on in your private life as well as your creative life 12 years ago and 24 years ago. What stories, what themes were playing out, what good opportunities were being put on the table for you at that time, and what can you have a chance to relive and reclaim now, because that is the name of the game with Jupiter going into Aries this year. We also have a full moon lunar eclipse, which is bringing culminations, transitions, and endings to your 12th house of your past, privacy, and hidden zone, Scorpio, on the 16th. And this is opening up a 3-month window of influence. And the reason I say it's a 3-month window, it's because, yeah, normally a full moon lasts about 2 weeks in its influence, but when we have a lunar eclipse, it amplifies and expands it. And so we're all feeling this eclipse from between the 16th of May through about mid-August. A full moon, whether it's a lunar eclipse or not, in the 12th house can be kind of a rough one, because this is all about essentially dropping off a lot of your own roots, your own past, and a big purge of your own history. And what happens with this is we are clearing and eliminating a lot of unfinished business, untold stories, and unresolved narratives that maybe you don't have resolution with. Maybe things that you don't have closure with, you don't have reconciliation with. But it's time to get current, and we can't go back there anymore. This will be extremely helpful. This is one of those big liberating moons, so there could be a lot of negative narratives and old shadows and things we don't have reconciliation, resolution, or closure on that we're still happy to see be purged. But this still can have a bit of a breakthrough experience throughout the course of this next 3 months. Just remember, if it can't be blessed, it's got to go. With the new moon of the month falling at the end, this is how we're going to wrap up this reading. We've got a new moon in Gemini, your 7th house of partnerships, your closest one-on-one connections. This is your boyfriend, girlfriend, BFF, business partner, husband, wife, roommate. We've talked about it several times already in this read. And a new moon is all about seed planting, new beginnings, and initiations. And in the 2-week window period between May 30th and the 14th, 15th of June, depending on where you live in the world, you are going to get an opportunity to make something official or transition the status of a working arrangement or a social partnership, a romantic partnership, or a business alliance in order to set a strong new code or a strong new agreement or arrangement in stone. This is something that is going to allow a lot of you to step forward into this new commitment a lot more securely, but this is also creating potentially a lifelong friendship, a lifelong business project, or maybe something that is allowing you to expand your social circle by bringing more people closer to you in a lot more of an intimate way. This is also a time where those of you who are looking to maybe draw in new close partnerships are also going to find somebody showing up that is an ideal partner potential for whatever kind of partnership you are looking for. So that is what I've got for you, Sagittarius people. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.